Hello, I think it's time. Is it time, Carolyn?
Yes, it is.
And I'm talking to Carolyn. Carolyn is my lovely assistant who helps me to set all of this stuff up. And so good morning, everyone, and welcome again. And I'd like to just mention my spirit guide Gabriela, who's standing just behind me to my right, and to my far right, as usual, is Carolyn. And we have had lots and lots and lots of questions. What we've also had, which is so funny, we've had lots of people entering the competition. Now, before we get going, I'd like to just mention again, I know I mentioned yesterday, we did a little video yesterday of our winner. And I promised you that, I hope we've got it, Carolyn. I promised you also that we'd repeat the question, the final question for next week's competition. So our winner this week is Deb C from Florida. We are from now on going to call her Deb C because we like that. So congratulations, Deb C. And did we hear from her yet? Has she?
Yes.
Because we emailed her to let her know. So we've heard from her, and she's going to make her choices. All right. Now
we'll read the question at the end.
Shall we read the question at the end? Is that because you don't have it?
Yes.
We're going to read this week's question at the end, which gives Carolyn time to hop and skip over to get all the information. But yes, we do have a great question. Oh, we should put in the answers first, shouldn't we? We should tell the answers. Where's that?
Tell the answers.
Yeah, we should. Sorry.
There you go.
The question, Deb C, was, all right, in one of my weekly videos, I have music playing, and the questions were, who is singing? What is the name of the song? And what is my favorite music? So I said all of that, did all of that in this one particular video. Lots of you got 3 out of the 4.
Two out of the
sorry,
3.
2 out of the 3 questions right. I don't know where I am this morning. I think nobody got the answer to the first question, although we did have lots and lots and lots of answers. Nobody got the first question right, and the first question was, who is the singer? Who is singing this song? Who is it who is singing this song? Now, the name of the song was Tenderly. My favorite music was jazz. Now, in order to win this competition, you had to get only 2 out of 3 questions right. So most of you who entered got those 2 questions right. No one got the answer to the first question. Who is singing? If we could replay the song again, can we? Is it on? Can we have just like 2 seconds of it? Can we have 2 seconds of this song, and I'll tell you who is singing? And is it on? Here we go. Might be a bit loud. There. Can we turn it up just a bit? This is the song Tenderly. And who's singing? Who could this be who is singing? Across the trees tenderly, it's me who is singing this song. Thank you. We can turn it off. Yes, it is moi. It is me singing this song. And so the video that we it was in. What is the video that it was in?
Rescue work.
Oh. The video was all about rescue work. Thank you, thank you. We do have do we have it yet? Did you manage to get it? I know she ran out while we were doing that. The question for, thank you. The question for this week, and all entries have to be in by
December 13th.
December 13th at midnight. In order to be eligible for this competition, you have to subscribe to YouTube. We are loving the videos, the emails. I'm telling you, we've had such great feedback, and thank you all for your kindness and the joy and the fun that we're all having, because we are certainly having fun. This is the final question. So it's your final opportunity for your name to go into the draw for the big prize. I've never been a big prize before, but I am the big prize, or should I rather say a consultation with me is what you are going to, all of you who have been joining in the competition and got the answers right, which is most of you, will be eligible for the draw for the final prize of me. So are we ready for this final question? It's a 4-part question. You must have 3 correct answers to be eligible. So, in which of my videos was I wearing the same jacket that I wore 21 years ago on a national TV show? In which of my videos was I wearing the same jacket that I wore 21 years ago on a national TV show? And let me tell you, that jacket is just as good now as it ever was, and I still wear it, believe it or not. Okay. The second of the 4-part question is, name the national TV show that I was on. Third question, describe the jacket. And the 4th question is, name the national incident that was unfolding on TV news at the same time as this national TV show was airing. Now, there is a clue in that question. I'm going to read it again because we've already had lots of people answering. So I'm going to give you a clue. You can, if you've given an answer, I think we can, there's no reason why you can't answer again, is there? Or try again, because not all of you got this bit right. So I'm helping you out here. Name the national incident, and here's the clue, that was unfolding on TV news at the same time that the national show was airing. Okay, that gives you a good clue. All entries have to be in by Tuesday, December 13th at midnight, and we are just so looking forward to seeing what you do with that. Next week we're going to be I think announcing the winner of the big prize, are we?
Next Thursday.
We're going to have the drawing live here. And we're going to draw out of a stocking, I think, not a hat, but a stocking, because it is Christmas. And as you've noticed, see the glittery jacket and the sparkly things. I'm getting ready for Christmas. These sparkly earrings are like, my daughter bought them for me. They're antique things. They're a bit heavy to wear, but I love them, and I can't remember the name of the movie star they were fashioned after, but I think it was what was her name? Very famous. Elizabeth Taylor. I think these were Elizabeth Taylor's. They weren't her personal ones, but they were fashioned after her. So I'm all glittery for Christmas, and next week I shall be glittery again. Carolyn brought me a little crown to wear, which says Merry Christmas.
Happy Holidays.
Happy Holidays. I want you to imagine it. Just imagine it. You see I'm not wearing it, so you just have to imagine I'm wearing a crown. All right.
Next week.
Our subject for this week is Earth Angels. What is an Earth Angel? Do Earth Angels really exist? Do angels, any kind of angel, do angels really exist? And I used to ask that question of myself all the time. Because until you've seen an angel, how can you be sure? How do you really know? Of course, since those days of doubt and wonder and questioning, I've seen many angels. I've been fortunate enough to see so many angels. An angel, remember, we've had this conversation before, an angel is a messenger from God, only here to do God's will. We can ask an angel all we like, please can you help me with this, that or the other, but unless God decides, the angel can do nothing to help us. Their role is for God alone. What is an earth angel? We've had lots of questions, but I'm going to start off by reading you something which is a story which is coming out in my new book. Yes, I know, in my new book. We're hoping next year, as soon as we can get this cookbook out of the way, which is causing us. If anybody out there knows anything at all about computers and Word and Apple and how we get the things compatible, because boy, are we struggling here in my office, Carolyn and I. So any helpful advice or any techies out there who can give us a bit of help and advice, email us, Rosemary at rosemaryantaltea.com, because we would love to pick your brains. Once the recipe, the cookbook is out, which hopefully, if it's not out by next week, it'll be out in the beginning of the new year. And then we have a new book coming out, and there is a story in there about an earth angel. And I thought, as a treat, before we go into the questions, I thought I'd read a little bit of this story for you. So I apologize for looking down, but I'm reading from a bit of paper, right? So, but I thought you might like to hear this story about an earth angel, a real live earth angel. And I was, to set the scene, I was having a consultation with a family who were way across the ocean in another country. And I was very concerned about this consult because it concerned a young boy. I'm not going to say too much more about that. But as I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm trying to connect and I'm trying to do my best to help the mother of this child and the father of this child, I'm asking Grey Eagle for help and guidance, and all he keeps saying to me is, be patient, wait, see what happens. So this is what happens. So the earth shifts beneath me, and the heavens open wide above me. I'm partway in and partway out of my physical body, standing halfway between the two worlds, and yet still grounded. For just a moment, there is a great silence. Opening my eyes wide, I gaze before me, and I'm bathed in the most intense and brilliant light, which fills the room, even as it fills my heart. The light is blinding, and for a few seconds, it is hard to see what lies within it. And then, through the brightness, moving slowly towards me, the earth angel appears, standing in the light of God and smiling the most incredible smile, looking right at me. Soft as gentle rain, the tears fall unnoticed down my cheeks, and I gaze in silent wonder at the angel boy. He's looking right into my eyes, and I hear the melodic tones of his voice, a silver whisper on the air as he speaks to me. My name is Thomas. All right. Now, his name is Thomas. He's 11 years old. I'm sort of reading this through. He's got an awful disease, a nasty disease, and he's paralyzed. He can't see, he's blind, but his mother tells me, but we think he might be able to hear us. These are the questions. I wanted to share these questions with you, right? Because as a mother, and all of you who are mothers and fathers out there, right? Brothers, sisters, all of you who are out there, I want you to, as I'm reading these questions that Thomas' mother gave to me prior to her consultation, Can you imagine having to even ask these questions? And only those of you who have children who are disabled, or families who are disabled, or for whatever reason paralyzed or not able to answer, only those of you who are experiencing this will understand these questions. I'm going to read this list of questions to you. The first question is, how conscious of his illness is Thomas? Is my son afraid? We're asking this of an 11-year-old. Is my son afraid? Does Thomas want to see more of his friends, or does he want to go back to his old school to visit? Does Thomas like being with people, or does he prefer being on his own? Imagine that you don't know this, and imagine that this 11-year-old child can't tell you what he wants. Does my son like to go out, or does he like to stay inside? What does Thomas think of us, his mother and his father? Is there something more that we can do for Thomas? Does Thomas fear death, or does he want to die? What does Thomas have to say about his father? Will my son get better? And then this next question, which is the one that got me, I don't know why, but it got me the most, was, is there any type of food that Thomas would like to eat other than the food he has now? Thank God I've never had to put myself in that position. Thank God I was blessed. But this family was blessed too. This family was truly blessed because Thomas is an earth angel. Thomas, as many children do, as many people do, came to this earth to help, to guide, and to steer. Just for the record, I think if I read all of this, I'm going to read Thomas, something that Thomas says partway through this. He says, I am an earth angel, and there are others like me. I want to tell my story because there are so many people on this earth who are sad, and we see, even though you think we are blind, we see the sadness of this earth. We see the sadness of the parents who have children who are sick like me. We see the pain in the eyes and the hearts and souls of the parents and families. And I want them to know, I want people to know that we, the children like me who are blind and deaf and cannot see or move, who cannot speak, that we are the special ones. We are the chosen ones, chosen to come to this earth to bring this incredible gift of love and understanding. And as Thomas talks to me, he smiles, the boy who cannot see or hear or speak in his earthly form, but who is whole and well and healthy and oh so wise in his spirit form. And the rest of the story unfolds in this new book that's coming out. So this, I wanted to give you a taste of what it's like for, what it was like for me to talk to an earth angel. I wanted you to hear Thomas' words. And that one question, you know, that one question, what does Thomas like to eat? I will tell you that his answer to me was, or to his mother and father was, I like sugar. He says, I like sugar. And his parents laughed because it's the one thing that he was not actually allowed to eat. But hey, I'm sure they gave him some sugar and still give him sugar. All right, so let's can we go to our first question?
All right. This is from Lauren from Massachusetts. She asks, how exactly do earth angels differ from a regular angel?
Hi, Lauren. Well, I'm not sure there is a regular angel, but earth angels are very special because earth angels are sent by God, and they are, you know, they come into our lives at particular times, but they come to specifically teach us something. They come to teach us about our soul. They come to teach us that we are more than we are. And earth angels will interact in whatever way they can with us on this earth plane. They interact, and those of us who are mere mortals on this earth plane will be able to see them and actually even to communicate with them, even though we may not know that they are in fact earth angels. Let's have our next question.
Well, Peggy asks, and it's a perfect question for this, are earth angels spirit guides in training? And this is Peggy that we know.
Peggy, hello, Peggy. Thank you for the photo, by the way. All right, I'm having to ask Gregor this, because you have to understand that even though I've spoken to many earth angels, well, a few actually, not that many, they're very rare. I'm not all-knowing and all-seeing. I don't profess to, know all of the answers to this, but my feeling is no, they are not spirit guides in training. An earth angel is an earth angel. A spirit guide is something completely different. But that's a great question. Thanks, Peggy, for that. Next question.
Okay, we've got Gabriela joining us, and she says
she's live. Gabriela,
yes,
hello,
yes.
Gabriela.
She's joined us quite a few times. How can I recognize an earth angel?
Well, you may not. They're very difficult to recognize, and the only thing, Gabrielle, I can tell you from my own experience is, unless you have an earth angel like Tomas who actually comes and sits in your living room with you and tells you, which is not going to be too likely. There are moments when we're talking to an earth angel, and again, they're very rare. You're not going to come across them too often. But there is something in your soul that will tell you. For instance, I told a story a few weeks ago about the woman who was supposedly drunk, who barged her way into a church, and she told me, all of a sudden she sobered up and told me, they've sent me to talk to you. They've sent me to tell you, they've sent me from America to take a look at you. And you just sort of get that feeling, that something that your soul speaks to you, and you just know that this is something different and unusual and very rare. It's just a knowing sense, which is, that's all I can tell you. And I've had that sense every time I've been fortunate enough to meet an earth angel. I met a little girl in Italy who was in a wheelchair, and she was a darling, darling child. And, everyone around her, even though this child was totally blind, completely unaware of the world around her, you would think there wasn't one person who met her who didn't find joy in having that moment with her, or those few moments with her, and her family, who brought her great joy, who she taught many things. And I was lucky enough to be able to hold her, and I knew that she was an earth angel. I mean, you just know. There's something that tells you, you just know. But again, I have to tell you, it's very, very rare. Next question.
Okay. Are earth angels able to travel in and out of our human earth dimension? That's from Jennifer from Colorado.
I do believe so, Jennifer. Thank you for the question. I do believe they do come in and out of our lives. If you remember, again, I'm going to refer back to the story of the angel who came into the church to take a look at me. She, the last thing I saw of her was that she sort of walked out of the church, and I watched her. My eyes were glued to her back, and I watched as she almost floated through this throng of people and disappeared out of the church. And no one has seen her since, and I certainly have never seen her since. And no one, and not even Grey Eagle, will tell me, where is she? What happened to her? There are some questions, there are some things that we're not supposed to know, that we that we don't need to know. We just don't need to know. So do they come in and out? Yes. I've written before, and I shall say it again. You never know when you're going to meet an angel. An angel can be that person sitting on the seat of the bus next to you, or a train. That earth angel can be that person who's walking towards you in the street, who just gives you that special smile or that special feeling. An earth angel can be that little kid who's running around on the street, that little snot-nosed kid who's got no shoes and raggedy dress and what have you. You never know. An earth angels come in many shapes and sizes and forms, they try to teach us something. They try to teach us how important it is for us to not just be aware of spiritual things, not just to say that we believe, but to live every day, to live our beliefs, which is not an easy thing to do. Next question.
We are hearing from everybody that the feed is, for some reason, going in and out.
Oh.
We haven't experienced it on the iPad or my telephone.
Oh, I'll move it forward a little bit.
Yeah, Dean just said you're looking a little bit digitalized.
Oh.
Yeah, so it is kind of overcast today.
We're good here.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a storm heading your way, Dean. Thank you for letting us know.
Gabriela.
Do you mean this? Does this mean I put on all this glittery stuff? Maybe it's the glittery stuff that's doing it. Does this mean I put on my glittery Christmas jacket and nobody can see it?
I see
Fiddlesticks.
Gabriela in Italy asks.
Is this another Gabriela?
No, same lady.
All right.
She wanted to know, and I'm reading it exactly as she wrote, are saint people angels on earth? So perhaps she means our saints.
People who have a sainthood or the church decides that they do wondrous works. I don't know if they all are or some are, but it's possible. But I really don't know the answer to that question, Gabriela, but thank you for asking. Remember, I've said to you guys so many times, just because I have Grey Eagle here and just because, I seem to be all-knowing and all-seeing, sometimes I'm not, and I don't know the answers to all the questions. And, I've always said to you all, this is how you can tell somebody who's real from somebody who isn't. Don't ever be afraid to say, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that, Gabriela, but thanks for the question. Let's have our next question.
Jolene, who says, your jacket is lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's years and years and years old, I have to tell you.
She'd like to know, as well as quite a few other people, can animals be earth angels?
I believe so. Well, can earth angels, I think the question is, can earth angels come in the form of an animal? I think I'm asking Grey Eagle, and he's got his hand on my shoulder, and the answer to that question, which I didn't know until just this moment, is yes. So our earth angels can come in the form of different forms and shapes, and in forms of our little puppies. I'm thinking of my own little puppy at this very moment, who was certainly sent to me at a time when I desperately, desperately, desperately needed something, and I got him. Lucky me. Next question.
This is from Ellen from Meetup. She says,
Alan or Ellen?
Ellen.
Hello, Ellen from Meetup.
She says, I know that everything happens for a reason. Every person we meet in life has to teach us something we need in life. But how do you know that you've actually met an earth angel?
We have the postman coming knocking at the door. We're going to ignore him. You see, it is live. What can I tell you? The question was what? Sorry.
It's okay. How do you know that you've actually met an earth angel?
Well, I think, I've already answered the question. For me, how do I know? Because I'm very fortunate in that I know these things, and as in the case with Tomas and also one or two others, I have been told that they are earth angels. When I met Tomas and he told me, yeah, well, I actually told him through Grey Eagle. Well, he actually told me, let me do this properly. He actually told me, Grey Eagle also told me, and I was then able to tell his parents that he was an earth angel. I mean, the revelation was quite stunning to me. It was quite shocking to me that, you know, this situation could arise and did arise. And to have this beautiful, beautiful child, this beautiful earth angel standing in my living room, which I'm telling you, the light that came was so bright that I had to close my eyes against it. You know how when something is so bright in your eyes, and it took me quite several seconds for me to be able to open my eyes and to be able to see through the light, because it was truly blinding. So, you know, you just have to listen to the heartbeat of your soul, listen to your soul, listen to your inner voice. Again, I'm going to stress, earth angels are very rare. They don't pop up all the time here and there. If you're a parent of a child who is perhaps disabled, and I'm thinking of the story of David in The Eagle and the Rose, I would say that David was certainly an earth angel for his mother, for his family, for his parents. And that story is, I think, the last but one story in The Eagle and the Rose. So I know I can see all of you who've got that book flipping through the pages. I do not mention in that book that he was an earth angel, because at that time I was not aware that there were such things. You see, I'm learning all the time. But certainly he was an earth angel, that I'm pretty sure of. And for those of you who have someone in your care who is just that something special person, my experience has been that earth angels are those children or adults who seem to have problems that draw those of us who want to help and who are kind and loving, draws us to them. But remember, I don't know everything about this subject, so let's have our next question.
Well, this is my own question.
Oh,
so are all
I'm not. Are you allowed a question, Carolyn?
It's in my contract.
Which contract would that be?
Are all earth angels people with special needs?
I would say, you mean on this in this earthly form, when they come to us in earthly form? I would say that my experience, again, it's only my experience, the majority of earth angels that I have met have been those who seem to have, in a physical sense, not in an emotional sense, but in a physical sense, they seem to have special needs. Again, I'll refer back to the lady in the church who seemed to be certainly an alcoholic. She certainly seemed to have some desperate need to be in that church, which that desperate need, for those of us who are not only sympathetic or empathetic, who want to reach out and help, that's what we do. We reach out to help, and that's as we're reaching out to help, or as we're reaching out just to give a little love and a little kindness and a little gentleness, this is when as we are reaching out, this is when we're perhaps more able to detect something special about that person, something that draws us to that person, which can tell us that this is an earth angel. Next question.
Carrie from New Mexico asks.
Hello, Carrie from New Mexico.
Why would a soul choose to be an earth angel?
I don't know. I have no clue. It's a great question, Carrie. I'd love to know the answer. I'm asking Grey Eagle. I'm getting nothing. So I think that earth angels are in themselves so rare and so special because they seem to have this ability to be able to reach us, and to reach us in ways that, are extraordinary. So many people, and it saddens me, so many people will see someone in a wheelchair. They'll talk to the carer. They'll talk over the head of the person in the wheelchair. Or someone who with special needs, they don't talk at the person, or sorry, they don't talk to the person, they talk over the person. And when I see that happening, it's very frustrating for me, because I know why it happens. I know that people get nervous around those who don't seem to be, let's say, normal, you know, whatever normal might be. People get nervous around those of us who look differently, who are, you know, behave differently. It makes us nervous. You know, what is strange to us makes us nervous. But, you know, the next time you see someone in this situation, just, you know, look at them, talk to them. This reminds me of a story. Have we time for a story? I'm going to tell you a story, a little story, short story. I was in England and I was with a friend, and I was going to some special event or another. I don't know what it was now. And where my friend lived, I was visiting, and they had lots of little sort of boutique-y shops. So she said to me, let's go to this particular street. There's lots of little boutique-y shops, and you just might find something different that you can wear to this event. So off we went, and I went into one or two of the two boutiques, and it was fine. And then I went into this little tiny shop, and you had to go down 2 or 3 steps to get in. The place was jammed with clothes, full of clothes. And there was a lady, and she was on a ladder. She was doing something with a display up above where the rails were. And she had her back to me. And I walked in, and you know, I said, "Excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for whatever it is." And she turned towards me. And when she turned towards me, I saw a lady with her face completely destroyed. She'd obviously been very badly burned or something similar. Looked like burns to me. Her eyes were holes in her face, if you like, just sockets, no skin, no flesh around, no nose. Mouth was just a slash of scar. Her one ear was completely missing. Her face was completely destroyed. Now, when you're not expecting something like that, someone turns to you and they, you know, and you see this horror. It is a horror. A natural reaction, the natural instinct is to either gasp or to shrink back, or you're surprised, you're shocked. I was fortunate because when I used to do a paper round years and years ago, there was the woman in the back room who used to give us the papers, and her face was exactly like this lady's face, and she'd actually been in a bomb explosion. This is the woman who did the help with the paper round. She'd been in a bomb explosion, and her face was completely destroyed. So, you know, I grew up with it. That doesn't mean I wasn't shocked when this woman turned around, because you're in a boutique, you're in a fancy boutique, you're looking for a dress, you're talking about fashion, and the very last thing you expect to see is something like this. But I remained chatting and continuing with what I was looking for, and I didn't blink. And I thank goodness for my experience as a youngster. I was able to look at her and not be horrified. I was able to look at her and not show my sadness for her, because the last thing that anyone in this situation wants or needs is your pity. They just need you to treat them normally, which is what I was luckily able to do. And that doesn't mean that I wasn't feeling inside. It doesn't mean I wasn't shrinking a little bit inside. It doesn't mean that I wasn't shocked inside. It just means that I was able to steel myself, to control myself, and to treat this woman as a beautiful human being, which is what she was. And she was extremely helpful. she may have been as surprised by my attitude as I was surprised when she first turned to me. I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all have that reaction to anyone who is different than we are, to embrace them and to help it teach us something about ourselves, and to teach us not just about being sympathetic, but about being empathetic also. Let's have our next question.
Quite a few people emailed and asked, why do angels seem more prevalent at Christmas than at other times of the year?
Well, you know, Christmas is a joyous time. Those of us who celebrate Christmas, we are actually celebrating the birth of Christ. We're celebrating the joy of giving. We are joyful in our hearts. Christmas has always been a very special time for me. And because we are joyful, our energy field, our auras, there we are. It's all out there. We are light and bright and joyful and happy. Well, of course, what are we going to attract? Like attracts like. When we are bright and happy and joyful, and we're emitting this beautiful aura, we are, of course, drawing those to us with the same light and same beauty and the same aura. We're drawing them to us. And this is why I think that our angels are glad to be around us at these times when we're celebrating and we're happy. You know, I have a very good friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, who lost his father yesterday. So Al, I just want to mention you today, your family today, because I know how difficult this has been for you and how close you were to your dad. And I want to tell you, as we're talking of angels, he certainly was not an earth angel, but a lovely man, and I knew him. He was a lovely man, and I was fortunate to talk to him the last couple of weeks, to have a conversation with him in the last couple of weeks. So I want to tell you, Al, and Christine, and all the family who are listening, perhaps, your dad is with his angels now, and that I am sure of, and sends his love. Now, this is Christmas, and who wants to lose someone at Christmas time? But yesterday when I was talking to Al, I heard his dad whispering, please celebrate Christmas. So even if you're in pain, even if you're suffering, even if you're suffering a loss, our loved ones in the spirit world, they want us to celebrate the joy of loving and giving. They want us to celebrate the joy of Christmas. Even if you're not a Christian, even if you don't believe in Christ, or you've never met Christ, at least even then celebrate at this time with us, join with us to celebrate the joy and the love of giving and loving, and the happiness that Christmas brings, especially to our little ones, especially to my darling boy this year. Let's have our next question.
Gabriela has one last question.
Gabriela, this is the third question. Come on.
It's an interesting one. If angels can move everywhere, what are the wings for? Or are they just a human vision to represent them?
Oh, gosh, you do ask some interesting questions. I haven't a clue. I don't know why. Why do they have wings? I think I might have to check that one out. I might have to ask Gregor that later on. He's laughing at me. I'm not sure I'm going to get the answer. Beings of light come in many forms, shapes, and sizes. They let us know one way or another, and maybe this is why they come to us in this form. When Thomas came to me, our beautiful earth angel, when Thomas came to me and he stood in my room, standing next to me, he did not have wings. He was a boy, taller than I'd envisioned, a little bit taller than I'd envisioned originally, but just a little boy. And he was beatific, is the word I'm looking for. The light and the glory and the beauty that surrounded him and within him was stunning to me. So much so I've never gotten over the experience. I shall never forget it. And even when I am reading the story, you know, when I'm writing the story and then I read it through to make sure I got it right, I mean, I can feel the emotion swelling up inside of me. So, you know, he had no wings, but he truly was an earth angel, I can assure you. Do we have any more questions?
Just one.
Uh-oh.
Do earth angels have one purpose only while here on earth, and what happens when they fulfill that purpose?
My understanding of an earth angel is, yes, they do have a purpose when they come here. That purpose is primarily to do as God requires them. Whatever God requires of them, that is what they do. When they have moved on, or for instance, you know, when they are no longer needed in that particular situation, and I'm listening to Gabriela as I'm answering this question because I don't know the answer to this question. So Gabriela is helping me out here. So Gabriela tells me that when they have finished with their mission, and he calls it a mission, as Thomas came to his family to bring a mission, to share with us all his story, then he can choose to do this again. He can choose to be sent on a mission again, but or not. But he is always in the embrace of that incredible and beautiful God force, which drives him and determines where he's going next and what he's wanting to do next. I think, I'm asking Craig, or did I get that right? And I think I got it right. So, do we have any more questions, Carolyn?
Just the silly little personal question.
Oh, the personal question? Okay, all right then.
It's kind of a silly one you thought this week. And it's from Lauren.
Hello, Lauren. Oh boy, not sure we like this question. I laughed about it though. You know, by now I know what's coming. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Are you an earth angel, Rosemary? I bet you'd keep it a secret, but I think you are.
If I were an earth angel, I think I probably would keep it a secret. Yes, I think, you know, because, you know, I'm not sure it would do any good to say that I was. However, darling, no. I'm too definitely too human. I've got far too many faults and far too many little foibles. I can assure you. Now, I know that you might be thinking, well, I'm just trying to put you off the track because I really am an earth angel. But the truth is, I'm not really trying to put you off the track. I really am not an earth angel. That's very sweet of you to think that. I'm not an earth angel, definitely not an earth angel. And if you are ever lucky enough or privileged enough, as I've been, to meet an earth angel, I can assure you, you will understand that there's no way that's what I am. Earth angels are, in my opinion, to be revered. You almost want to whisper in their presence, or even about them. You know, when you go into a church and you're so overawed by the beauty and the holiness of it all. When I think about earth angels, I feel a little overawed by that fact, and I'm almost tempted to whisper about them because they are just unbelievably special. And yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
yeah.
but Tomas's mother, Claudia.
Claudia?
Yes, is live, and she's saying hello, Rosemary.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would not make that up. Everybody, yes, she's right here.
Oh, my darling.
Tomas's mom.
Oh, does she have anything to say? Sorry, guys. Ooh. I promised Claudia that
she said, hello, my dear.
We would share the story. Hello, Claudia. How lovely to have you on live. Who would even know that? How nice of you. How very nice of you. That was shocking to me. Boy, yeah, I know some of you be saying, you know, thought you were psychic. Thought you would know that would happen. Oh, how lovely. Is she well?
I'm waiting for her to respond.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime, so we'll see if Claudia does respond to us, but how lovely for her to say hello to us, and for her to have heard me talking about Tomas is very, very special to me. All right. The competition. Carolyn's having a bit of a weep here as well. It was a shock to us both, right? If you would like to Jesus, sorry, it's just completely shocked me.
Claudia is saying that she said she is so happy to hear you talking about Tomas.
Oh, great. Well, send her our love and tell her to email me or contact me. Please let me know how everything is. All right. So moving on from that, I think that is a perfect place for us to end this week. If you would like to participate in our competition, oh goodness, if you'd like to participate in our competition, you need to subscribe to YouTube. If you want to contact us, Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. We're on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. And I think we have something else, don't we, next week? Before I go any further, if we've had requests for consultations, if you'd like a consultation, you just email us, Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com, and we'll send you information about that too. And of course, you know, any books and so on and so forth that you'd like. Next week is our last week, I think, before Christmas. So I'm going to be wearing an even more Christmassy jacket, just so you know. And we're going to have a little bit of fun for Christmas. We will be announcing the winner, right? The winner of the grand prize. Who might that be?
It will be live, so.
It'll be live, yes. The drawing will be live. And we're not going to do a Wednesday thing because there are no more questions. So it'll be live next week. We'll be doing the drawing. And next week, we're also going to be talking about blessings and miracles. You know, do miracles really occur? Are there such things as miracles? If so, I know lots of you have said, have I seen any miracles or been part of any miracles? And I have to tell you that I've been part of a ton of them, more than I can even think. Amazing, I know. I think we have an email from somebody which leads us very nicely into this. And Carolyn, I'd like you to read it for us if you could.
Hello, Rosemary. I first got to know you when I read your book, Eagle and the Rose, back in 2011, when I started my university for the master's degree. I was so moved and resonated with it so well at that moment that I felt as if you were talking to me directly, and it helped me at that moment in my life. Well, I didn't have the luxury of having any computer or internet or cell phone at that time, and it's only now that I have them to search you. Now, I checked your Facebook page and Twitter, and I am particularly excited to find you on YouTube. It's my only way to connect with someone like you who has connected to my soul so well, someone who is so wise and knowledgeable and a great lady and a mom. I see your videos and learn a lot and somehow feel better in the dark, damp place that I've been in for the last 6 years. Your motherly care and wise words and positive thoughts all resonate so brightly through your whole personality, and it makes me really wish to have a mother like you, or at least someone like you. Well, at least I get to see you and see you cook and share incredible stories, and it makes all of us out here who look up to you as if we were part of your life and your work. What you have done and achieved is incredible and encouraging, and it is my sincerest wish to God to be able to meet you in person, face to face. That would be like having a dream come true. In any case, it's a message of love and best wishes from someone who loves you dearly and is a huge fan.
That's so lovely. What's the name of this lady?
I believe it is Madia, Madiha.
Okay, Medea then, we think. All right, I didn't ask Carolyn to read that because I wanted you all to think how wonderful and beautiful and all the rest of it and what a great lady I am and all the rest of it. We get so many emails saying, you know, similar things. But what we would like from you is, yes, of course, I'm a mum, and yes, I do try to be, you know, as kind and as nice as I can be. But there are so many people on this earth who are the same and often better than I, nicer than I, kinder than I. When you send in your questions this week, we'd love to hear from you because it is Christmas. So we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to mention a particular or a certain somebody who you feel a little bit the same as this lady feels about me, which is very sweet. But if you have that special person in your life and you'd just like to send blessings or Merry Christmas, can you send in the names of those people? Because we're going to mention them next week when we do our blessings and our miracles. And I am also going to tell you about my miracles because I have two major miracles. One is my daughter, the other is my grandson, and they are my darling miracles, and I'm so excited because I'm going to be spending Christmas with them, and we're all already talking about Santa and Christmas and writing Santa's list and so on and so forth. So please send in your questions, send in any names of anyone you like mentioned on the show next week, and we'll do our best to send them our love and our wishes. Thank you for watching. In the meantime, until we see you again, please have a blessed day.